bars probably are one of the most important things in my life. I've been I mean, I've been a metalhead pretty much as long as I can remember. As long as my first ever memory is my mum and dad, when I was 3 years old, taking me into their little study in their house just, in Alloa and playing me Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen. It's a lot more than the whole kind of throwing up the horns and fucking smashing beer glasses together and all this sort of stuff. It's like, it's a home. I moved to London for the underground music scene. I mean, it's like I'm a touring, well, I'm a musician, not touring just now, obviously, no one is. And that was my whole kind of like attraction to moving to London in the first place. So I mean, in relation to the Crowbar and Blackheart, I mean, the Crowbar is a really special place for me. When I first moved to London now, I mean, we're looking 7 years ago. I originally was playing a band called Necro and literally after my first ever practice with them, first place I went was Crowbar. Ironically, that night is where I met one of my two of my best friends in the world, so Michael and Holder, and then all of a sudden I ended up, we all got involved hanging out, and it's like, to be honest, if I went for the Crowbar on that night, I might not be in the weird and wonderful friendship group that I'm in now. And so ever since I've been able to drink and socialise, and that was definitely before the legal age as well, rock bars have been a massive part of my life. It's where I went to socialise. It's where I've met my best friends. It's where I've met partners. It's where I went to go celebrate big parts of my life. I went to go celebrate birthdays. It's also where I went when I've had a really hard, shitty time, and I just need someone that's like-minded, like myself, that just gets it to talk to me. I mean, I genuinely would have cried if I found out the Blackheart shut, but it's like seeing everyone in the scene, like every single day, just like, no, you can't let this place shut. I mean, literally, met stories coming out of people met their wives there, stuff like that. It's like people's first ever gig. I mean, for me, myself personally, I mean, it's like first ever time I played in London was actually at Blackheart. I was just like, man, I'm playing London, like, what is this? Like, for me, in the back of my head, I was just like, is this like, am I about to get my parents' approval, like, for being a musician all of a sudden? Because I'm now playing London, I'm in the big leagues. And it's like, everyone's got a story of these sort of places, and it's kind of like, I think as well, if you look at like, new alternative kids or new alternative people coming to London, it's kind of like, they're not going to have a place. If these places shut down, they're not going to have a place to go meet their new friends. I mean, it's like, these sort of bars are where everyone in the alternative scene, and maybe not everyone, but majority of people consolidate the friendship groups that they're going to have for the rest of their fucking lives. It's like, that's what happened for me. That's what happened for majority of my other friends. It's like, no one hangs out with their friends from school. No one hangs out with their friends from work. I hang out with everyone that I met from the Dev 7 years ago. Whenever you see kind of everyone like running around in at a festival and kind of like, screaming in each other's faces, it's like, you're letting that shadow out inside of you that you kind of hid away. I mean, it's like, I know for me, it's like, I'm like, going to a gig and going to a festival, it's like, is so cathartic. I come out the other side of it, and I just feel I've almost like shed that dirty skin off myself. It's even a lot of these people from outside of London, they come into London for festivals maybe once a month, once every 2 months, and these places are still really important to the UK scene in general. It's a really nice thing to see. So I would actually say it is in their nature. I mean, it's like, it's genuinely, it's 100% in the nature of the alternative community to do this, because again, if you go back to, it is an outsiders community, and what do outsiders need to do? They need to stick together, because otherwise you're on your fucking own.